NASA has uncovered some truly mind-bending and cryptic images that upend everything we thought about alien life, UFOs, and weird encounters. These photos have sparked global intrigue about what might truly exist beyond Earth. But there's a catch. Many of these striking images are quietly vanishing, possibly never to resurface. Before they're wiped out or lost forever, it's worth diving into these eerie and thought-provoking visuals that could completely shift our view of the cosmos. From a suspected alien structure on Mars to the planet's chilling carved face, here are 15 secret NASA extraterrestrial photos you need to see before they're deleted. Number 15. The Sidonia Region. This region of Mars has sparked interest for decades, mostly due to its weird topography. Back in the 1970s, NASA's Viking spacecraft captured images of this area, including the now famous Face on Mars. But that wasn't the only odd feature. The surrounding terrain included pyramid-like mounds, sharp ridges, and unnatural-looking angles that seemed out of place. NASA claimed it was all the result of lightning, erosion, and the brain's habit of finding patterns. Still, many remained unconvinced. Over the years, new images from Sidonia have surfaced, but several older ones have disappeared or become harder to access. That quiet shuffle of data has only intensified suspicion that there's more to this region than NASA is willing to admit. To some, Sidonia might hold clues to a long-dead alien society. To others, it's just a bunch of rocks. But until every photo is laid bare, Sidonia remains one of the most questioned spots on Mars. Number 14. The Sri Lanka Ring. In 2004, a retired Royal Air Force officer visiting Sri Lanka captured something completely unexpected: a giant multicolored ring suspended high in the sky. He snapped a photo, unaware of the storm it would cause. The image quietly made its way to the UK Ministry of Defence, where it was kept under lock and key for years. When it was finally released, it raised more questions than answers. No one could confirm exactly what the object was. The identity of the photographer remained anonymous, only adding to the buzz. Some believed the ring was a rare atmospheric event. Others weren't so sure. Theories ranged from alien tech to advanced weather control experiments. But the most confusing part? How quickly the photo vanished again from official access. Even now, the image is discussed in UFO circles, not for what it proves, but for what it hides. A vibrant anomaly in a peaceful sky that refuses to be explained. Number 13. Mysterious lights on the moon. NASA's lunar missions have captured some strange images over the years, including photos showing unexplained lights in areas that were never reached by astronauts or landers. These lights weren't camera flares or dust reflections. They appeared solid, in fixed positions, often glowing from behind craters or deep terrain. While some scientists have suggested natural reflections or technical glitches, not everyone buys that. What really raises eyebrows is how several of these images have either vanished or been buried in archives that are difficult to access. Why hide something that's supposedly harmless? Some believe these glowing points are signs of alien tech or underground activity, while others think they're anomalies NASA would rather not explain. Either way, their disappearance has become a bigger mystery than the lights themselves. Whether it's just selective archiving or intentional censorship, this is strange. Number 12. Tic Tac UAP. The 2004 incident involving the USS Nimitz and Princeton remains one of the most credible UFO encounters ever documented. It began when radar crews noticed strange objects off the California coast. After recalibrating the systems, the unknown targets were still there, darting through the sky with speed and control that defied physics. Fighter jets were scrambled. Pilots like Commander David Fravor saw a white capsule-shaped object with no wings or visible propulsion. It hovered, then dropped from 20,000 feet to sea level in seconds. Another jet captured the object using an infrared camera, a blurry, Tic Tac-shaped blur that zipped off screen with impossible speed. But the strangest detail? Hours later, two unidentified men arrived by helicopter and reportedly seized the radar data. The footage and tracking records vanished. Whether it was alien tech or next-level human engineering, nobody can say for sure. Number 11. Alien-like structures on Mars. Among the countless Mars images sent back by NASA's rovers and orbiters, some stand out for reasons that remain hard to explain. These aren't random rock piles or dust formations. We're talking about oddly precise shapes, sharp corners, and angular features that seem too good to be natural. A few of these formations appear almost architectural, sparking ongoing theories about ancient civilizations that may have once existed on the Red Planet. What adds fuel to the fire is that several of these images are now incredibly hard to locate. Some claim they've been buried in obscure archives or quietly scrubbed from public view altogether. NASA has never addressed the vanishing images directly, which only deepens suspicions. Could they be hiding something? Or is it just overactive imagination? Well, let us know your theory in the comments below. Number 10. The 1990 Scottish UFO sighting. In 1990, two hotel chefs taking an evening walk through the Scottish Highlands witnessed something extraordinary. Hovering silently above them was a huge diamond-shaped object, nearly 100 feet long. It floated motionless in the air, and nearby, in full view, was a military jet flying alongside it. The men managed to capture 6 photographs before the object vanished at impossible speed. They handed the photos to a local newspaper. But before the story could spread, the British Ministry of Defense got involved. The original images were confiscated, and the case went quiet. For over 3 decades, the identity of the witnesses was kept secret, and the photographs remained hidden. Then researcher David Clark uncovered a photocopy of one original image, reigniting public interest. The story still raises serious questions. What exactly did they see? And why was the evidence buried for so long? All right, now, let's move to Number 9. The 2023 MQ-9 encounter. In January 2023, what began as a standard surveillance operation quickly escalated into something far more unsettling. A U.S. military team was flying an MQ-9 Reaper drone, one of the most advanced unmanned aircraft on Earth, when the crew detected something strange. The object appeared suddenly, moved with impossible speed, and shifted direction like no aircraft ever recorded. The drone's high-res cameras locked on immediately, capturing every bizarre maneuver. What made it truly disturbing was the wake the object left behind. A ripple in the air that disrupted cloud patterns and sensor readings. Analysts were baffled. The object didn't match any known drone, jet, or natural anomaly. The footage quickly circulated through military circles, drawing attention from higher-ups and civilian experts alike. Theories ranged from experimental aerospace tech to something not of this world. As of now, there's still no official explanation, only silent files and an encounter that refuses to be ignored. Number 8. Disappearing UFO sightings. NASA has taken plenty of strange photos over the years, especially ones showing unidentified objects drifting in space. These aren't just lens flares or floating debris. Some have defined edges, motion patterns, and bizarre shapes that don't line up with any known spacecraft or satellites. For years, these photos floated through forums and UFO communities, sparking debate. But then they started disappearing without any kind of OT explanations. They vanished from official sources without a trace. That removal only made things worse, fueling suspicions that NASA is scrubbing history. Some say the agency wants to prevent public panic. Others think it's just part of routine cleanup. Either way, it's the silence that raises red flags. Why delete something so widely discussed? These vanishing photos didn't just spark conspiracy theories, they became part of them. The less NASA says, the more people wonder what they're not allowed to see. Number 7. Brazil's UFO legacy. Brazil has long been at the center of some of the world's most intriguing UFO activity. One of its most talked about events is the Night of the UFOs, an annual gathering that brings together eyewitnesses and investigators. But this fascination goes back decades, especially to the 1970s in the small town of Colares. That's when local residents reported seeing glowing objects in the sky, some of which allegedly emitted beams that left people with burns and other physical symptoms. A few encounters even led to deaths. The Brazilian Air Force launched an investigation under Operation Saucer, but details were kept quiet for years. Eventually, documents and testimonies emerged, but questions still linger. The sightings led to the creation of Brazil's own UFO Research Committee, which continues to collect videos, photos, and testimonies. Despite mounting evidence, nothing has ever been confirmed by anyone. Number 6. The Gorman Dog Fight. On October 1, 1948, Air Force pilot George Gorman engaged in what would later be called a mid-air dogfight. Not with another jet, but with a glowing disc-shaped object moving unlike anything he'd ever seen. It started as a routine patrol flight over Fargo, North Dakota. Gorman spotted a bright object below his position, far too maneuverable for a balloon or plane. He gave chase. The object reacted instantly, accelerating, shifting direction, and even circling around Gorman's own aircraft. Radar couldn't pick it up, but it was clearly visible to Gorman, sharp, silent, and responsive. The incident lasted over 20 minutes before the object vanished into the sky. Gorman filed a detailed report, and the Air Force investigated. But the final explanation, weather balloon, never matched what Gorman described. His account became one of the earliest pilot encounters with a UFO, and it remains one of the most perplexing aerial incidents ever documented. Number 5. The Secret Skies. The U.S. Air Force has long been wrapped in mystery, from top-secret planes to high-security testing grounds. Aircraft like the U-2 and SR-71 Blackbird were once classified, flying missions that most people had never heard about. But it's the unnamed craft, the ones never confirmed, that get attention. One notable case happened in 1963 when a spy plane crashed in Utah. The pilot survived, but the Air Force sealed the site almost immediately, raising red flags. Fast forward to 2020, and YouTubers spotted suspicious movement near a restricted base in Nevada. Unusual vehicles and convoys were seen leaving at night, quietly, but not unnoticed. Even an archaeologist, Freeman, ventured into the same region searching for historic trails, only to uncover evidence of atomic bomb tests buried deep in its past. A chilling photo from 1957 shows one such detonation. That area continues to draw attention for what it hides beneath its sand. Number 4. The Levette Incident. In 1956, during a standard recovery mission in New Mexico, U.S. Air Force Sergeant Jonathan P. Levette and Major William Cunningham stumbled into one of the strangest events in military history. The two men were recovering missile debris when Cunningham suddenly saw a disc-shaped object hovering silently overhead. Before he could react, Levette was lifted off the ground and drawn into the craft. Cunningham, frozen in disbelief, radioed for backup. Radar confirmed an unidentified object in the area. For 3 days, Levette was missing. Then his body was discovered 10 miles from the site. The shocking part is that his corpse had been completely drained of blood, with no visible trauma to explain it. The military quietly classified the incident, but those who've read the declassified pages call it one of the most chilling cases ever recorded. Number 3. The 2021 Lake Michigan UFO. In 2021, tourists boating on Lake Michigan witnessed something that would quickly go viral. A fast-moving, unidentified craft zipping across the sky with impossible agility. The object darted in sharp angles, stopped mid-air, then accelerated without sound. Several people recorded it on their phones, capturing clear footage of the object's erratic flight path. Within hours, the clips circulated online, sparking intense discussion. Some speculated it was an advanced drone. Others believed it could be of alien origin. What made it especially strange was how effortlessly the object seemed to ignore physics, hovering one moment, vanishing the next. Soon, government officials were asked for comment. As expected, no explanation was given. The footage was neither debunked nor confirmed, just met with silence. The event added fuel to growing concerns that something unexplained is operating in our skies. Whether it was secret tech or something far stranger, the Lake Michigan sighting has become a modern mystery no one can dismiss. Number 2. The 2017 sighting. On May 15, 2017, an unidentified object appeared in the sky and left both experts and bystanders struggling to explain what they'd seen. The object's movement was unlike anything typical. It darted, hovered, twisted mid-air, and changed direction with a precision that ignored the laws of inertia. Its appearance? Smooth and metallic with no visible engines or wings. A group of bikers in the area later reported seeing military vehicles nearby, parked in strange formations, as if something was being monitored or contained. Some soldiers even made offhand comments about chasing a UFO, which only stirred more questions. Meanwhile, inside NASA's archives, an image surfaced, showing a highly reflective object suspended just above Mars's surface. The timing felt too aligned to be ignored. Was it a coincidence? Or were both sightings connected by something we're not being told? Well, if you find out, then let us know. Number 1. The Eisenhower photos. In 2012, video creator Adam got a surprise call from an old friend. Joseph B. Joseph claimed his sister had uncovered a pile of discarded photographs with potential ties to President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Among the photos were familiar faces: Bing Crosby, Clark Gable, and Eisenhower himself. But 2 photos stood out. One seemed to show a small brown alien figure sealed in a glass box. Convinced it could be linked to the Roswell crash, they sent the images to UFO investigator Tom Carey. At first, he was intrigued. The figure resembled decades-old witness descriptions. But after further digging, the truth unraveled fast. What looked like an alien turned out to be the mummified remains of a human child. The excitement crashed into disappointment. It wasn't proof of alien life, just a tragic misinterpretation. Even so, the case remains a powerful example of how quickly belief and hope can blur the lines of evidence. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you pretty soon.